What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Video Game Bang.
Wow, just cutting it off.
I can't. We got a crazy cast for you guys tonight. But first, let's talk about our sponsors. Mainframe USA, Vast GG, Energy Esports, and Oblivion Comics and Coffee. Your one-stop shop in Sacramento for coffee and comics. And partners for our new segment on Wednesdays, Curtis's Comic Corner. That's all K's. No, it's not. C's. On the show, we have...
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
We're going to go right through that.
Yeah, we're just going to keep going.
Wow.
Keep going.
You heard her voice. She dropped a huge bomb right before Cory hit record.
Oh, my goodness.
And I can't get over it. Jada is back, everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
Yes.
Are
we sharing my bomb?
No, we can't.
That's why people gotta watch us live on the Twitch.
They gotta watch us live on the Twitch. Twitch.tv/videogame_bang. We stream our recordings
on
every
the
Wednesday
Twitch,
and Saturday
like the
on
Facebook.
Twitch machine.
Yeah, and the Twitter.
We used to be called the Facebook.
The Facebook.
Yeah, until Justin Timberlake told him to drop the.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Eddie's in the house.
What's up, guys? Oh, boo me all you want.
You don't even know me.
You don't even know me.
No, it's that Dick Dastardly mustache. You just look like a old school villain.
And?
Vaudevillian villain.
You don't know what helpless person I have tied to train tracks?
Look at him drinking that whiskey.
Yeah, as he sips from the whiskey glass. So you got to talk about the mustache, man. You got a new job. You got a new mustache.
I do.
Cory's here too, everybody.
Yeah,
Cory.
whatever. Yeah.
We hadn't gotten to you yet.
Big whoop.
There we go. All the children love him.
The kids love me.
No, yeah. So mustache. Yeah, I can't grow a full beard for shit. So I decided I'm just gonna shave this down here and just grow the tops and see how curly I can get it.
So you're going for it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna let it grow and I'm grooming it. I'm trying to get it down. It's starting to do it naturally, without the product in it. It'll do it naturally. It's just I gotta keep it first.
And it fits the new gig. You got a new
What
job.
did you say?
Wait, what did he say?
What?
Oh, my goodness.
No. And the new gig. So the new gig, I'm the social media coordinator for a local production for a film that is called Feystrom. Feystrom. You can check it out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Feystrom Movie.
Oh, I didn't tell you to plug it, dude.
Well, you know what? Hey.
Come on, man. Save it for the end.
My question
course.
is with the mustache, how many months do we have till we see you in like one of those online competitions in like Portland competing for like the most gnarliest mustaches?
No. I don't think it'll ever get
4
that
months.
long.
4 months?
4 months? I don't know if I'm committed that much.
I think it's going to take him 8 months to grow that much.
It took me like 2 years just to grow this, so I don't know. I mean,
He hasn't shaved it in 2 years.
I haven't shaved in 2 years. No,
Oh,
but
goodness.
yeah, I mean, this is just something like everybody wants something different, whether if it's a new hairstyle or facial hair. You love it.
Thank you. I got the somber look going.
It's looking great.
Minus the purple. I went with red.
It's one of the extra skins you can
Yeah,
get.
you know,
Yeah.
I
There you go.
don't want to be basic.
No. It wants to be basic.
It looks good.
Thank you.
So one thing that's unique about this particular cast is we've all worked together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all coworkers.
At one point in time, we were all working for the same outlet.
It was
Yeah.
so long ago.
You can tell people what it was. Just leave on the damn
Everybody
was-
cliffhanger.
Right.
Find out
Right.
next
Right.
week
Next one.
on Video Game Bang.
No, we used to work for Nerd Reactor.
Yep.
We all wrote for Nerd Reactor for a short time, I think all at once.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
same time.
Actually-
It was probably a good year.
Probably,
year
yeah.
and a
Well, yeah,
half.
because I was just thinking about it while I was coming into the studio. We were essentially this team here. Everybody that you see right now were what was considered
The North.
Northern California division of Nerd Reactor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all either did game reviews, we did product reviews. David did product reviews. Cory and Jada did game reviews, and I did movie reviews.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yep, and
That's
then
right,
I did
yeah.
I also did the gaming like junkets and stuff like that because those were in
Yeah,
San Francisco.
and Cory actually held a leadership position of some sorts at one point in time. Like he actually became an editor of some sort.
I can't even remember. It was a very long, convoluted title, but basically
He's like director of Northern
NorCal,
California.
whatever. Yeah. Man, look where we've all gone so far. Like, it was actually a really good experience, I think.
I agree.
Like, joining with Nerd Reactor for that little stretch that we all did was, like, awesome. It introduced us to, like, con culture.
Yeah.
Me for sure. Like I hadn't really gone to conventions at all.
Outside of like Sac Anime, like that was probably
Sac Anime, Sac Con.
I hadn't gone to any.
Yeah, I had done like really basic Sac Anime visits, but yeah.
All right, so favorite Nerd Reactor moment.
Favorite Nerd Reactor moment? Well, because I'm going to say it before Cory says it. Yeah,
I bet it's probably the same one.
It is. Well, it probably is. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
getting a chance to, we were at San Diego a couple years ago, myself and Cory, and we got a chance to speak to the man who helped shape and create Magic the Gathering, Mark Rosewater. And the conversation was great. Like I was so satisfied in being able to have Mark Rosewater, kind of give the thumbs up on a certain deck that I had created, and Cory used to hate it when I played that deck because it had certain cards in there.
It was cheating.
And so Cory deliberately asked in the middle of the interview.
Yeah, I was like, okay, now we got the guy here.
We got the man. He's like, how do you feel? How do you feel about, like, he got heated. And he's like, how do you feel about people using these unhinged cards and these unglued cards in Commander? And Mark Rosewater's like,
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
It's awesome.
And I'm like, yes. So, and then after the fact, we got like we
definitely have worked together, everybody.
A little bit. No, and after the fact, like after everything was done, me and Cory got invited by Mark Rosewater and his team to go hang out at PAX West, just hang out in the hotel room.
How was that?
We didn't go.
Lack of follow through.
But I mean, that for me is like one of the standout moments for me.
Damn. Well, since you took mine, I have to go with my next favorite moment, which is when I broke. We went to San Diego Comic-Con. I think it was probably the same year. And I signed up for the Cartoon Network roundtables.
Yeah. Okay.
And this was when Regular Show was out, and Steven Universe, and it's like a bunch of really good ones. And the one I was most excited about, though, was We Bare Bears.
Yes, I remember this one because I walked you all the way over that way, and it was right before when you went in, you talked to somebody that was like super famous or whatever right before you went in. You even took a selfie with him.
Well, so I love Regular Show. JG Quintel was one of the people I met that I actually fanboyed out because he has the voice of Mordecai. One of the characters, and so he like acts like him, so it feels like you're hanging out with the cartoon character. And I don't know, I just had tons of respect. But the We Bare Bears one got canceled, so the reason I was excited about that one because Bobby Moynihan, I'm a huge Saturday Night Live lover, and Bobby Moynihan was my favorite cast member at the time and like for a long time. So he was there. I saw him walk down the hallway. But he wasn't in the panel when we went in there. They're like, no We Bare Bears panel. So I said, but I saw him. Unrelated, I had to go use the restroom. So I asked.
Unrelated after seeing Bobby Moynihan. Like, damn, I got to go rub one out.
I had to go whiz.
So
I asked the person, like, can I use the restrooms over there? And they're like, no, it's private access only. I hold up my press badge. I'm like, come on, press. I really got to go.
Yeah.
And so he lets me through. As I'm walking through back to the toilet, I take a look to the right, and there's the green room with just Bobby Moynihan standing by himself on his phone. And I was like, okay, make or break moment. Do I head into the green room and meet one of my heroes?
Right.
So I did it.
And he hated him
hold on.
after that.
Not only did you meet him, what did you show him?
No, it was what he was going to show me.
Phrasing. So much phrasing.
There was something on your phone that you showed
him.
No,
it was the opposite. I told him, like, dude, I'm a huge fan. I love Drunk Uncle. It's probably one of my favorite SNL characters of all time.
Yeah.
I actually was Drunk Uncle for Halloween last year. And then he was like, oh, I have that picture on my phone.
And
he starts pulling out his phone and going through his contacts. And actually, now that I'm putting it back together, maybe he was calling security because very shortly after, a security guard came back. It was like, who the fuck let you in here? Who do you work for? Show me your badge.
Wait, so you never saw the picture on his phone?
No, I never saw it. So he might have called security on me. I don't know. Now the pieces are on
texting. Help, please. Send.
That shattering you guys are hearing at home right now is Cory's world coming crashing down around him.
There you go.
So that was probably my favorite moment because there's a little bit of like trouble in it, you know, like I was doing something. I never broke rules for Nerd Reactor. Like I
there it is. Yeah, I was to say
I played it straight to the chest. Like I reviewed all of my products that they sent me wholeheartedly and truthfully. I did my due diligence all the time. The one time I risked it all was for that one moment to meet Bobby Moynihan.
Yeah. Okay, what about you, David?
Okay, so mine is kind of a bunch of things. Or my favorite things that I got out of Nerd Reactor was, I think my favorite was my first time where a company pulled my quote and used it in their promotional material. And that was for Far Cry Primal, where I was at a press junket, got to play it, and then I co-opted a video kind of review of the play session with Joey, another in our alumni.
Joey Ferris.
Yeah,
Joey Ferris.
Another in our alumni. And they ended up pulling one of my quotes from the written article for their promotional material. I was like, yes, amazing. Had another one with like a board game, a tabletop game. And then my favorite thing that came out of it, though, was the fact that I got honored as one of the, back in 2016, as one of the top 30 women in journalism in the gaming industry in the Bay Area. So
Dang,
my
that's awesome.
picture, I didn't even know the reach of this. They was like, hey, we're doing a photo shoot for top women in the industry. We really want you to come down and do it. Which ended up leading into my job at my current company because it was at my company's office. But then
cool.
It was amazing, and my photo was posted in at PSX that year. So I got a bunch of people like, Jada, you're at PSX. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm in San Francisco. You guys are in Anaheim or wherever it is this year. And they're like, no, your picture. I was like, what? And so literally they had a little bio and my little quote and my picture there and posted at PSX. Cool. So I never would have gotten that if I didn't join the NR ranks for a long while. It's 4 or 5 years.
Dang, and going back to getting your quotes published, they had another one happen, didn't they, with Mark? Didn't you get one of his the box of a fucking Marvel movie?
Yeah, it was on the DVD box.
Yeah.
Well, because it started with Mark, which is one of the reviewers that's still currently at Nerd Reactor. It started with what was that? Had a blast or
that was the funniest thing is that it was something literally anybody could have said.
It was a blast or something.
Just a nonstop blast.
Nonstop blast. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Nonstop blast.
So,
but they pulled it and they credited him with it.
Hell yeah!
Which I mean, now he's a part of the LA Film Critics Society and everything. So I mean, kudos to him.
He's part of the MCU now.
True.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What about you, David?
I think mine is probably also San Diego Comic-Con. I got to interview the cast of Archer.
Ooh,
it's one of my favorite shows, and I couldn't say one word. I just sat there and just stared.
No way!
Just,
did you freeze up?
Wrote notes. Yeah, I froze up 100%.
Oh my god!
Because I'm like, oh my god, especially when it was oh crap, I'm blanking on the actual names. Archer and Lana.
You're talking about
John.
Oh my goodness.
Something.
Oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed.
Anyway,
I've met Lana.
John Benjamin.
Oh,
John
she's
Benjamin.
famous.
Yeah, I know.
You should know her.
I
Is it Rosario Dawson?
No. God.
Who and who?
No.
Lana.
H. John Benjamin.
Aisha Taylor.
Aisha Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness. I
they
have
were-
a picture with her.
I think we got a Filmlosopher in the house.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Hey, this isn't time for plugs. So I had them. They came to the table at the same time, and their personality, their characters' personalities, is them. They were bickering with each other, in the most hysterical way, and at one point, John took a drink of something, and Lana asked him a question, and he just straight up did the whole put his finger up and just kept drinking like he does in the show.
There you go.
Hilarious. It was awesome.
I think so I had my top celebrity I got to interview was Wesley Snipes because he was doing a TV show or whatnot that year. We were at Comic-Con, and so I got to interview him for that. That was really cool. And then I actually had, I think it was at CES or some other Vegas show. Mm-hmm. I froze because I couldn't tell across the room if it was Viola Davis or not. And but I had made eye contact too many times and it had been too long. There was I couldn't go over and say hi.
Yeah.
And so I just never, that was the one time I've never gone up and said, otherwise I've, you name somebody that's been at Comic-Con the last couple of years, I've talked to them and have a picture with them.
That's the thing with Jada. Jada just gets into places.
I just don't care. I just go.
Did you ever accidentally piss off a celebrity?
Yes.
No.
That was quick.
That was super quick.
No, I did.
Not to my knowledge.
So here's my story, and I think I could have swore I've shared it with you guys. So I did a CBS press junket at San Diego, and it was literally every new show and upcoming show that was going to have a season in the fall. They did all of them in one press junket. So it was like a 3-hour press junket. It was hella long. So the CSI, it was like CSI
Throw a dart
criminal, something to do with internet. Like cyber crimes.
Yeah, CSI cybercrimes, yeah.
Or
took place in
Criminal
Seattle.
Minds, whatever. It was the girl who played Penelope Garcia, Kristen Van something, and it was the kid from Everybody Hates Chris.
Okay.
And so
What'd you do to Chris?
So, well, here's the thing. It was a stupid
What'd
thing.
you do?
We were not even denying it.
It was a stupid thing. So we're sitting there, we're talking, and
He wanted my popsicle, and I told him no.
I was like, so we were talking, and I was like, so how do you feel about doing the transition from having a more comedic base in your foundation, like with Everybody Hates Chris, to transitioning to something that's a little bit more serious, like something like this show, where there's death, there's killing, there's cybercrimes, you're doing all this kind of stuff. He got so offended that I mentioned Everybody Hates Chris that he's like, well, I don't do comedy anymore, so I don't want to talk about any of that.
Serious?
Yeah, I'm like,
Ugh.
who the fuck are you? Like, for real? Like, everybody, after he left, because nobody else asked him any more questions, after he left, everybody at the table was like, did he seriously just get upset at that question? It's like, everybody knows that's where he started.
Yeah.
There's nothing else for him prior to that.
Yeah.
If you talk to, like, Will Smith about Fresh Prince, he'll gladly probably sing the song to you. He's not going to be like,
You know what?
I don't
New
know-
bucket list item.
get him to sing the song.
Sing Fresh Prince of
Oh,
Bel-Air
my
with
goodness.
Will Smith.
I was going to say, it has to be with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm singing it with him, except for that middle verse. Nobody knows that part.
Although I do have to admit, real quick though, my another highlight of San Diego was actually getting a chance to get a photo with Penelope, the woman who plays or Penelope Garcia, the one who plays Penelope Garcia in Criminal Minds.
Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, can we take a quick photo? I know you're kind of doing everything, whatever. She's like, okay, let me come back. An hour and a half went by, and I could have swore I thought she left. I was upset because I'm like, fuck. So she literally like scared the crap out of me. She comes up right beside me, puts her head on my shoulder. She's like, let's take a picture real quick. I'm like, oh, sure. I stopped the recording of whoever I was interviewing, and we got to take a quick picture.
That's cool.
Nice.
That was random
Very
as heck.
Oh man,
Canon.
so you're getting called out in chat. Bow Wow was on that show. Not Everybody Hates Chris. And I did a little fact checking on my end, Eddie, and you're a liar, sir.
What?
It was actually Criminal Minds Beyond Borders.
Dang.
I knew it had to do with cybercrimes.
Get your facts straight.
Like, obviously, I remember how well that interview went.
That's gonna come in
Why?
handy in our later role. I pissed off one actor for a very similar reason. It was DJ Qualls.
Oh,
You remember
yeah.
him?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, wait, hang on. That sounds super familiar.
He's the new guy. If you remember that
Oh, small, skinny guy.
Yeah.
movie, it looks sickly.
Yeah, go in there and you got
I don't
punch the
know.
biggest kid in the yard.
I don't know what he's.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
He's not.
He was.
Oh, no, he was in Man in the High Castle.
That's what I was interviewing him for.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Man in the High Castle, and
his small itty bitty role that he had in that show.
I mentioned I mentioned new guy because that was my main frame of reference.
Yeah.
And he got really upset that anyone would mention that movie, and he separated himself from it super quick. And I was like, I felt like I had, see, you know me, I can't keep my fucking mouth shut.
You
So then
can't.
I try and
That's
like
true.
overcome. I was like, no, bro, like I like that movie.
I mean, like, okay, like.
I was the new guy.
No, for real. I was a child when it came out, so I actually liked it.
It helped me in high school.
Yeah, it helped me.
Like, own your stuff. Like, if you've done it, like, own it. Like, I think like, you know, there's different calibers of different actors and stuff like that. I don't think like if you went up to somebody like a Will Smith or Samuel L. Jackson and you brought up something like super early from their career, they'd be like, yeah, I did that. It wasn't the best thing, but you know, hey, I was there. Like,
Or do what that one stupid newscaster did and confuse Samuel L. Jackson with Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was so
Oh,
fucking
my-
viral. That was funny as
It's like,
hell.
wait, who?
So terrible.
What
He's like,
credit
I
card
wasn't in.
commercials? I wasn't in no credit card commercials.
Yikes.
I feel like Samuel L. Jackson is the one actor you don't want to piss off because I feel like he could probably like exactly.
Oh, he'll turn
Yeah.
your blunder viral
Oh, yeah.
instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
This motherfucker. All right. So speaking of Eddie lying, we're gonna go to our next segment.
I didn't lie.
We're playing a new game on the show for this week's Web Talk. We're doing 2 truths and a lie. We talked about this before the show when we were trying to figure out like what we're gonna come up with for the game, and we all had to go back super far.
Yeah, because we all know each other well enough.
Yeah.
We just mentioned how close we've worked together for the last few years. So right before we went on the air, I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this because we know too much shit about each other. Like even the stuff that we say while we're drunk. I think I honestly cannot think of anybody else who I've been drunk with more than the people that are in this room.
That's very true. Yeah, we've had some pretty some
Usually-
heavy drinking nights, usually at SDCC.
Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say
I don't really remember most.
that's
of them.
kind of the point.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So
Jada remembers.
The rules of the game, if I remember them, because I haven't played this since I was a small boy, since I was a squire.
Wee lad.
So like 7 months ago.
Yeah, like 7 months ago. How does this game actually work? We all have to come up with 3 statements about
three
our
statements.
lives.
3 facts about ourselves.
three
Two of them are
statements.
lies.
No, one of them is a lie.
One of them's a lie.
So think of this game as kind of like your theme song. It tells you in the title 2 truths and 1 lie.
Oh, that's why it's called that. Okay,
All
right. I get it. So we come up with 2 truths, 1 lie, and we have to figure out which one's
the
the
lie?
lie.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. All
All
right.
right, who wants to go first?
You.
I can go first.
Jada could go first.
Jada can
I'll
go
go
first.
first. All right. So my 3 statements are.
Hold on, pull that closer because I don't want to cheat.
It doesn't matter. You can't tell. It doesn't say which one's a lie, which one's truth. It just has what I'm reading.
Oh, that's true.
Color coordinated.
It's right. So I once streamed for 37 hours straight.
Okay.
I sang live on stage in Vegas,
Okay.
and I've platinumed every God of War game.
Interesting. Okay, so slower.
I got mine.
Go one more
So-
time.
Wait, you got her.
I got my
okay.
pick.
Wait, you can
So-
ask questions.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, no, he's saying he figured out what his
Already?
He just figured out what. Oh, you figured out what mine. Okay. So I once streamed for 37 hours straight.
Let's stop there. Okay, we know Jada streams.
Mm-hmm.
So do we think Jada has the? And see, this is where our knowledge of the person comes into handy. Because
I know she streams, and I know 2.5, almost 3 years ago, she did this long ass stream that she publicized all over socials, and I just don't remember how long it was.
it better not be like
It's like
it was a lie. It was
like-
36 hours.
No, I'm not getting off. I'm not getting
35
off.
hours, 7 minutes.
I'm not getting off on technicalities.
Okay.
And then my second was I sang live on stage in Vegas.
Now, what you guys don't know that I happen to know is that Jada is a performer from like back in the high school days in theater and stage and show. And before the show, she was singing.
I was just gonna say.
And it wasn't half bad.
It seems very specific though.
Yeah.
And then my final one, I have platinumed every God of War game.
That I think is definitely a truth.
You see, I think they're all. Okay.
Which one is it though? You guys don't know.
Okay, I have what I think it is.
Okay.
Say number 2 and 3 again.
Number 2 is I once sang live in Vegas.
Okay.
And number 3 is I have platinumed every God of War game.
We can ask furthering questions too,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. So, what did you sing?
It was a.
Ooh, look at this stutter. Look at this stutter. You should
No,
know off
it
the
was-
top of your head.
Okay,
You
it
don't
was
forget that,
Vegas. I was drinking.
Wait, so was this a big stage or was this like
It was
a bar stage?
It was a bar stage.
It was a bar.
It was a bar stage with a band. It wasn't a karaoke night. And we sang cover songs.
So you were part of a band?
No. She got drunk and she stumbled up on top of a stage where there happened to be a band playing and they sang cover
That's the
songs.
plot to Bohemian Rhapsody. I saw that. Jada was watching Rockstar before the show.
gonna
I actually
say-
watched Bohemian Rhapsody on the plane ride back from Singapore earlier this year, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with number 2 as well.
Number 2,
I'm going with number 2
I'm going with number 2.
Corey?
because she games like 1 and 3 seem like a no-brainer for me with Jada.
That's where I think it's the twist. That's where the twist is. Like, I don't know that
I'm really good at this game.
But then
it could be that Jada like 100%ed all the God of War games. Does that count like God of War mobile games if those exist?
And I think there was like one mobile, but I wasn't taking that into consideration if that was it.
I think Jada's trying to throw us for a loop, so I'm going to go with God of War. I think she hasn't 100%ed all the God of Wars.
Okay, that's what we're going with?
That's what we're going with. Final answers.
Yep. All right. So I did stream once for 37 hours, so that was a truth. I streamed.
We all knew that one.
I streamed all 3 Uncharted games back to back.
Oh, when the new one was coming out.
Yep, right before 4 dropped. Cool. So I did a live stream for that. Yeah, that was painful. I slept for about 2 days straight after that. But it was totally worth it, and I look forward to doing something like that in the future. I have sang live on stage in Vegas. That was a truth. It was not because I stumbled up on stage. I was vibing very much with the lead singer for the band. I'll pull up the picture in a moment, see if I can find it.
Define vibing.
We were just like, we had a good kind of riff going back and forth, like front row of the stage and stuff like that. And so like he pulled me up on stage and I finished up the set with them. We sang a bunch of.
So you didn't just flash $100 bill?
Nope.
Like, come on.
Nope. Didn't do anything like that. But yeah, I was just vibing and I got up there. I had a Guitar Hero guitar. So like looking the part at the same time.
Oh my God.
There you go.
But yeah, we sang some covers. I think we did, if I remember right, we did Rio. We did, what else did we do? We did something else. I think we did actually do Bohemian Rhapsody, if I remember right. It was crazy. It was a long night. My lie was the God of War. I have not platinumed every single God of War, and I say this because the only God of War I have not platinumed was God of War Ascension, which was the prequel one that launched late into the PS3 cycle, and I absolutely hated the first like 5 hours of the game, so I never even finished that one. So I never platinumed that one. But every other God of War, the handhelds, 1, 2, 3, the newest one, I've platinumed all of those.
That's how the game is played. And now we've learned even more. See, so I got the point. See, I pay attention. My wife does this to me all the time. She says, Cory, you don't listen. And I'm like, I can repeat everything she said.
You have to.
Yeah.
He's texting his wife, babe, get on the stream now.
Yeah.
I am totally in the game.
Tell him.
Bonus points for Cory.
I can go
Elizabeth.
next.
Yeah.
All right.
So that way I can knock mine out. I don't think mine's are. It's
Eddie had a great strategy ahead of the show. The rest of us were thinking about it. And we're like, what are you doing, Eddie? He's like, I'm just going to come up with mine on the fly.
I did. I literally just wrote him while she was talking.
I streamed for 36 hours.
Right.
I sang in Reno.
I watched
I did
movies
not
for
platinum.
36 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So here are my 3 statements. First one, I almost had lunch with J-Lo.
Okay.
Okay.
Second one,
Continue.
I shared some pizza with Danny McBride.
Okay.
And third one is I shared a smoke with Dominique Cooper and Joseph Gilgun.
I don't know who those
Joseph Gilgun is the guy, if you guys seen Preacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Preacher is Joseph Gilgun is the guy who plays the vampire in Preacher.
Okay.
So he's one of the actors. Him and Dominique Cooper are both in the series.
Okay. So let's go down first one again.
So first one,
I almost
had lunch with J-Lo.
Okay. What constitutes almost? Because I could have almost had lunch with J-Lo.
It was
You
scheduled.
could have almost had lunch with Bobby Moynihan, too.
Yeah.
It was actually scheduled to happen. I was supposed to be there, but circumstances around the situation didn't allow me to be there.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. So it was an appointment thing through like an outlet, like Nerd Reactor. Okay. I don't think. What movies has she done in the past couple years since Eddie's been a reviewer?
Well, she did do that like TV show, that cop TV show.
Yeah, but that might have been too recent with Ray Liotta.
No, it's been around for the last 5-6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it started a bit back. It didn't catch a lot like very soon. So I think it didn't pick up like steam till like season 3. But
Almost had lunch. Okay. Second one.
Shared some pizza with Danny McBride.
That seems so like realistic.
like I feel like there was like we were probably at a after con event, and Danny McBride was there, and like so he shared pizza, but so did like the other 100 people in the room.
Oh no, it was just
literally
myself, Danny McBride, Walton Goggins, and that's about it, and maybe 2 other people.
Okay, well that's definitely a truth because he just pulled like actual details. Like that's got to be.
He did that in the last one though. But J-Lo, he was a little vague.
I can go into detail if you want.
This guy's committed.
I can.
Get a fucking lie detector for this guy.
I know.
He's a faceless man.
All right.
And then third one, shared a smoke with Dominic Cooper and Joseph Gilgun. Those fuckers are partiers. So we went. There was a Preacher press junket. It was Seth Rogen, Dominic Cooper and Joseph Gilgun, as well as Ruth Negga and 2 other people on the show. Afterwards, like Joseph Gilgun had this pen, and he's just like chimney smoking it. Like right as soon as the thing's done, I'm like, bro, what are you smoking? He's like, oh, hey, you want some? He's super Irish. And he hands it over, and I'm like, oh, cool. And we're literally sitting in the corner of the press room. I'm having it. Dominique's like, hey, what are you guys doing over there? Because he's English, whatever. And he grabs it, and he starts smoking. And then we were literally there for like maybe 10 minutes passing around his vape pen.
So I vaguely remember him telling this story. I want to say this was a Comic-Con story.
I want to say this. That sounds.
That one's too. He's nailing the details.
Well, because Eddie smokes. Like he's like kind of a social smoker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like that's
First one's
super
alive.
believable.
yeah, and the second one, Eddie eats pizza. So
Yeah. Joke's on you, Eddie.
yeah. Damn. Okay, I'm going with the J-Lo thing.
Yeah, J-Lo.
I think I'm going with the J-Lo because I don't think she's done any relevant movies or TV shows. Wow.
I'm going pizza. I'm just to be the devil's advocate. I'm going pizza.
I'm going J-Lo.
Okay, is that everybody's choice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're J-Lo,
J-Lo,
Pizza.
So, Danny McBride, we were at the... No. I'm just giving you stories. I'm just picking a random place.
He's going to make us wait
Danny
for it.
McBride, there was a HBO series that was coming out called Vice Principals. It was super late, like almost 1 a.m. at San Diego, and they had a spontaneous after party. It was an outdoor thing, and there was a segment away from the rest of the crowd where Danny, Walton, and a few others were there, and they were literally giving free drinks. It was only for certain members of the press, and so I was able to get one of those bracelets, and I go up, and it's literally them sitting around two huge pizzas, and I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. And Danny's like, hey, you want some? I'm like, sure.
So that one was
And Walton's
true.
like, you sit over there. I'm like, I don't even have to sit here at all. I'm like, I'm hungry. So Danny hands me a slice. He's like, oh, man, we don't have any plates, but you're welcome to grab a slice or two. I'm like, oh, cool. And so I had to actually go back out and grab John and bring him in because he wanted to check it out. And by then, Danny and them had already taken off. But the free drinks were there. So that's that one.
So that was a truth.
That was a truth.
Okay.
I was 12 and... No, I was about 11. And I actually won a competition to be an extra in the movie Selena.
No fucking way!
So
Whoa!
I, as part of the promotion, I was supposed to go get fitted for cowboy hat, cowboy shirt, everything like that for one of the scenes, and I was going to have lunch with the star of the film. They stipulated Jennifer Lopez as well as Edward James Olmos would be on hand to join for lunch. Unfortunately, I was super busy. My parents were super busy, and I couldn't make it. They sent me a second update saying, oh, we're doing another scene out in, there's a small town called Poteet. They're like, but we would like for you to come and fill in for that as well, and lunch will be served as well for you and the stars of the film.
So it was
That's
number
cool.
3.
It was
I
number
could have
3.
swore you told me this story, though.
What I told you was...
He just lied
No,
about it.
no. Joseph Gilgun, I told you, he did smoke like a chimney. Like, he would just... And then, like, as soon as he was done, as soon as everything was done, and he did his pictures, he walked out to the balcony, and him and Dominic Cooper were just, like, high as
So you
kite.
just inserted.
But you were
just
not
didn't-
there.
You just
I didn't go.
Didn't go.
Ah.
'Cause I was like, I remember you covering preacher stuff
Yeah.
for NR, so I was like, that's
And I
gotta
remember
be.
him telling a story about those dudes smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it. Good one, Eddie.
Very
he knows
good.
how to play the game.
Very good.
All right. Me?
Yeah, you go. I'll go last.
Oh, you go last.
I'll go last.
Okay.
All right. Mine, I don't know what I've told you guys. I say a lot of stuff. So my first one is the first time that I got drunk, I was under 5 years old.
Okay.
Second one,
This is Cory. I believe that one.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
second one, the first gaming tournament I won was a Half-Life 2 tournament. And the third question was my dad got me a fake ID so I could see a Van Halen cover band.
So that's true.
That's true. Because I remember that one. I remember you mentioning that one.
I didn't think Half-Life had.
I'm going with number 2.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
would
remember
have to
Half-Life.
ask questions. I
We-
You
think-
gotta ask furthering questions.
I don't need to. I remember the stories from when we would have lunch together and you talked about how you accidentally got drunk because you thought it was something else and you drank it and you were totally...
What did you get drunk? You want us to ask questions. What did
Yeah.
you get drunk on when you were 5?
It was a warm beer.
A warm beer.
Yeah.
I remember this story.
What brand of beer?
I don't remember. I was,
should be-
I was under 5.
It should be burned
got
into your
hammered.
memory.
He's like, fuck, I gotta write my letters right now. Shit.
What was Van Halen's closing song?
I don't even remember that. I was so young. I was really young.
How old were you?
I want to say I was like 15.
Gotcha. And then who did you beat in this Half-Life 2 tournament?
That's the crazy part. It was actual big streamers. Any Munition was a part of it. It was like one of those press team ups.
Okay.
So they team up a press person with a streamer, and so I was streaming. I was teamed up with a guy named Bahira, who's a WoW streamer.
I know mine.
And what did you get the final kill?
No, I got carried. I was hard carried.
All right, I got mine.
I got mine.
Yeah, I'm still going with Half-Life.
Yep, mine's Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Damn it! You guys are good.
It was CS:GO.
Yeah, you're right.
I remember how many times, like whether sober or drunk, when you would bring up the story about how you first got drunk when you were 5 because you accidentally thought it was juice and you went and you grabbed it and you
Yeah,
drank
yeah.
Yeah, you
just
beat
remember
me. I was
Cory.
14.
I just remember Cory having kind of like a crazy kid childhood. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, those are true.
it. Well, and I remember.
Hey,
I
I'm
remember
looking at the trophy over there, and I remember when you got the trophy, you're like, yeah, this is the first gaming tournament I've won. I was like, that's fucking
Oh, and I
CS:GO.
remember you talking about how I remember you were really super cool about your dad talking about how he got you that ID so you can go see it because your dad's a big Van Halen fan.
No.
Oh, it's you the big one.
I was a big Van Halen fan, but I remember the more I think about it, it was one of those things I thought about, like when David brought up. It was the first one that popped into my head of a story I didn't think I told. But it was my dad did the works. He took me to like some shady apartment building
Nice.
in North Highlands that I'd never been to, and the dude like wasn't wearing a shirt, and he set up a big blue.
He's like, you here for the surgery or for the ID?
He set up a big blue green screen. He had a janky little camera. He took the photo. We watched him like move it from a floppy disk into his computer.
Oh my god.
And he like warped my head so it looked more adulty.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
printed the card and handed it to my dad. And my dad gave me like my first fake ID.
There you go.
I remember looking at it being like, this is the cheapest piece of shit. Like, this
Do
doesn't
you
look.
still have the fake ID?
I
is the
don't.
question.
No, I don't. I
That's-
wish I did.
That should be like.
Damn.
Because we could have
Yeah.
given it to David.
The only reason was to go see this shitty Sacramento Van Halen cover band. I don't even know why he took me or why we did it, because we never used the fake ID again. Like, I never saw it again. He made me give it back to him. It was just
Aw.
weird.
Well, I mean, gotta give to receive. Someone else can use it.
Yeah. So you guys know me too well. Fuck it.
All right.
All right, David. Wow us here.
David's an international man of mystery. Like, he says a lot, but he doesn't say much. So I think he's gonna have some doozies.
Well,
in
you know
here.
why, right? Because he's the real David
Witness
Webb.
relocation. Oh yeah.
He's the real David Webb.
I don't know.
And witness relocation.
And witness relocation.
All right. So, my first job, I worked for the military.
Okay.
I was a cheerleader for a short time in high school.
I can believe that.
That's a truth. Like, hands
And
down.
I
Top of the
broke
pyramid.
my arm.
Top of the pyramid.
Top of the pyramid. I broke my arm riding my bike when I was a kid.
Holy shit.
All right.
So what did you do for the military?
I worked for the National Guard at a summer camp for building rockets.
Like actual rock.
Wait,
All
How-
right.
Yes.
I'm good. I figured out the lie.
How old were you?
7.
Ish.
Ish, 7th grade, 8th grade.
And you actually got paid for this.
I got paid for it.
You filled out a W-2 and everything? Not like officially paid or just like, oh, good job, kiddo. Here's $5.
No, I got paid, but I think my parents had to fill out the tax information because I was a minor. But I got paid.
Makes sense.
Okay, and you were a cheerleader
Yep.
for a short period. Is this high school, college?
High school.
High school. What grade?
Sophomore year.
Nobody commits suicide at sophomore year.
What
I'm sorry. Those
were
four
you
choice
as a
words.
cheerleader?
I was a tumbler.
He knows
Wait,
the
what?
terminology.
Yeah.
He's a tumbler.
You were a tumbler?
I was a tumbler.
So you were doing like handsprings and stuff.
Handsprings, cartwheels.
Holding up the ladies.
I also was. I also did like was with the base and toss people in the air.
David tumbling. Like
I just
okay.
that
Describe
fits,
the
like,
tumbling. What level of tumbling was this?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean? What level of tumbling? I did.
He laid on the floor and rolled to the other side of the football field. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Wait. Did you say handsprings? Or was that handsprings? It was round-offs. I was thinking round-offs. I did round-offs and cartwheels. And then
round-offs is a pretty that's a deep term. I feel like I don't know what that is.
No, I know. At the moment he said tumblers, I kind of had an idea that he knows too much, more than I'm comfortable with.
I feel like
As somebody, like one of the kids I used to watch did do cheerleading, so I had to learn all those terminology, and so he's right on.
Yeah.
He's nailing it.
He's right on for
And
it.
you broke your arm when you were little while riding a bike.
Yeah, I was like 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade.
How'd you break your arm?
So at the park by my house, there was it was like a hill that all the kids had like kind of ridden up and jumped off, right? So there was a ditch kind of that was made into it by all the kids that were riding the bikes. And so I went off of it and I jumped, and I remember I pushed down too hard on the handlebars, so I landed on the front wheel, flipped over, and as I flipped, my bike fell on top of me, and
So here's my problem.
Hold on.
So I've also done that, but I didn't break my arm.
Hold on. Have you guys broken an arm or leg or anything?
I've never broken anything.
You have?
Oh yeah, I played football.
Nope, never broke a bone in
several
my
arms.
body.
David, what
Lots
does
of
it feel
sprains.
like to break your arm?
hella painful.
Like what kind of pain though? Describe the pain.
So no, hold on. Where
Paint a picture.
where
It
did
was
you? Where was the
blinding.
break? Where was the break?
It was right here.
On your forearm.
Yeah. The bike peg landed right on it.
What kind of break was it?
I don't know. I was a kid. I don't
Well,
remember.
was it a complete? Was it a hairline?
It was a fracture. Yeah.
It was just a fracture,
fracture.
or a hairline?
It was a fracture.
Get him, Eddie. Get him.
No, because so
You interviewed one person in CSI, and you think you can judge? Yeah. No.
I played football for like 7 years.
Okay.
I've broken every finger except for these two. So I have complete breaks on these ones and these ones, and a hairline on this one. I have 2 hairline fractures on both ankles, and I've had a complete break in my the kneecap area.
This
the
is
bone.
from football?
Oh yeah, dude.
Were
I
you-
was
Dude,
brutal. Texas football, bro.
Were you just not good? Because like
No,
how'd you get your ass kicked that bad?
I played for 7 years. So over the time, like, cause I was the center. So like my hands were on the ground always.
Okay. All right.
So I say all that to say, I've had bones broken, and I know what every single break is because they hurt still. Like if it's a hairline, they still hurt. And so that's why I'm wondering what kind of break it was, because if it was like a hairline,
I never hear him complaining
never
about
hear
no
you
arm
complaining
pains.
about
But
it.
he's not a big complainer.
she's like, well, we're going to break it now. Fuck.
All right.
I mean, that is true. I don't complain. I don't go to the doctor or
But
anything.
iJane, you robot, whatever. iJane, you robot says National Guard, rockets. That doesn't really equate as much.
I'm thinking that number one, I'm locking number one in as my lie
Yeah.
because I want to say it wasn't the military. I want to say he was doing it for like NASA or something. It was like a space program that he got paid for to do rockets.
I'm gonna go the same thing. I agree. I think he was pretty detailed, way too detailed on the cheerleader stuff. He knew the terminology too well. Could have dated a cheerleader.
How do you feel that the only
wait.
comfort we have is that we know you were a cheerleader?
Well, and I think he said something.
Does Webb have a sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Share pom-poms.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I've actually been to NASA, and so I know the program that they have for like the rocket building and all that. They make it a pretty big point to say like a lot of the stuff that we did was non-military. So like we could build rockets, whatever, but if you ever, it's never for the case of like, oh, you can go to an actual base and do that kind
So
of
we're
stuff.
okay.
So I'm torn between the first and the third one out of personal experiences because I don't know if you've ever broken anything.
See, I'm torn between the first and the second one. Now I know that he has a sister because I don't know Webb as well as I know the
I'm
other
sure
two.
David's-
I see where you're getting at
Yeah.
because you could have got the information.
I'm sure
secondhand.
David's broken something. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember if it was on a bike,
Broken
but
my trust.
I know he's I know he's broken like a limb or something. So I'm fairly confident. I'm about 60%.
Here's the thing: you guys are doing one. Both
Yeah.
of you are doing. I'll do number 3 just out of posterity.
I'm gonna do 2, so one of us has to be right.
There we
Wait,
go.
what?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
gonna do 1. I'm gonna
Okay.
do 2. You're gonna do 3. One of us has to
Locked
be right.
in?
Yeah, we're
in.
locked.
Locking in.
All right. I did work for the National Guard.
You did?
Yeah. I was in 7th grade, 8th grade. I think it was 7th grade because it was when I was in homeschool. And it was a summer camp where kids would come and build like model rockets. and learn about rockets and learn how to build them and stuff like that. And
So was it a summer camp that just happened to be on the National Guard base, or was it?
It was ran by the National Guard. It
Okay,
was at like an
okay.
elementary school in Loomis, I think. And but yeah, no, my boss, he was a sergeant major, and yeah,
That was your first paying gig.
that was my first paying gig.
Wow.
Awesome.
I did powder puff cheerleading in high school, so that's where the girls play football and the guys do cheerleading.
You guys do cheerleading.
And yeah, I was a tumbler, and I taught. I was one of the base because I was one of the the stronger ones. So I remember at practice we threw my friend Josh in the air, and we were all kind of stepped back to kind of admire how high we threw him because the actual cheerleaders.
Oh shit, we still gotta catch him.
no, getting to that. The actual cheerleaders couldn't
Thank
do
goodness.
they couldn't do tosses, they couldn't do flips, they couldn't do anything like that because of legality reasons. But we weren't actually cheerleaders, so we do whatever the fuck we wanted. And so we tossed my friend Josh in the air. We stepped back to admire how high we threw him and forgot to catch him, and he broke his finger. Yeah.
Wasted.
So the lie was.
The lie was I have never broken an arm, a leg, or anything. The most I've broken are pretty much most of my toes in Taekwondo.
Well, and the thing for me was that he said blinding, and when you break something, it's never blinding; it's progressive. So when you break, you feel the swelling.
Everybody breaks things differently.
Yeah, but you
but
haven't broken
no,
anything.
So that story was like 98% true. The only thing that wasn't true was breaking my arm. All I did was sprain my finger.
I was
I
gonna say,
did.
okay,
The
you
whole
fell,
thing
you
was
fell.
true.
Okay.
And I came out of it with only a sprained finger, and I had no idea how that happened because it was gnarly.
Back in high school, I used to skateboard, and I had this one time where I literally fell off my skateboard, and I literally, as I'm falling off, I with my middle finger, I hit this concrete, and I pushed myself back up. No joke, didn't fall, didn't hurt my. All I did was whatchamacallit,
You bent the matrix.
You dislocated or
nothing.
Or you just
serious.
jammed it.
Jammed it. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of it. All I did literally was just a jam on my middle finger. And I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
I was finger today.
I played baseball, and we played a rival team, and I was going from first to second, and I slid. And in baseball, you wear metal cleats. Mm-hmm. So I slid to second, and as I slid, the guy picked up his foot, caught the ball, and brought his metal cleat directly on my ring finger here.
Yeah.
That's why this nail has never actually grown back properly. So
that's not your middle finger. That's your ring finger. But yeah.
That's what I said, ring finger.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's why it's never grown back properly. In fact, you can still see the dip in the center of that right there.
I can.
Wow.
So, and he actually tried to shake off his foot to get my finger off of it.
Oh!
Yeah.
That was I told a double lie. I said I never broke anything except for my toes. I just remembered I cracked ribs playing
He's
soccer.
like, I cracked my back earlier. So
Cracked my back. No, I cracked a rib playing soccer.
Fun.
those hurt because you can't breathe for that.
Baseball. I was young. I think I was probably 10 or 11, and I don't know why I got in my idea to slide into first. That's just something you don't do.
Those are the ones that you tumble over after
Yes.
you try to slide.
So yeah, and so I ended up hitting it with my left ankle, and I sprained my ankle. Sorry story about the worst thing about that is that was supposed to be my debut pitching game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I wasn't able. I was out
You
the
weren't
rest
able
of
to
the game.
pitch,
I wasn't
yeah.
able to pitch. Never got to pitch in another game. Never got another opportunity to do it. And my left foot is now half a size smaller than my right foot.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
She's got to buy 2
Dang.
pairs of shoes, one for the left, one for
It's
the right.
not like I wouldn't say it's a full half size, but it's close to a quarter. It's on the quarter to
So
a
do you
half
have
size.
do you have to do that? You have to
No.
buy 2 different sizes.
No.
Okay.
It's just there's always
one swells at the end of the day like crazy.
it's just my left foot always has a little bit more space in my shoes than my right foot.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never broke anything. Yeah.
So? I never broke it.
so.
I didn't break anything. I just sprained it, but I
I've
sprained
got
it really
2
badly.
concussions and
I've had
I'm not.
I have had my head cut open.
Worst
twice.
football player of all time, Eddie Villanueva.
No. So when you
What was your nickname?
when you're on my
Tackle.
side, what was my
What was your
my
nickname?
I
Glass?
was the Yeti.
Mr. Glass.
No. It was
Target?
not even. No,
the same-
because
this is
a
where
lot of them
M. Night Shyamalan got his
happened.
story
A lot of
idea.
them happened towards the tail end of my high school career and at the beginning of my college career. Because I played for locally here at the City College, and I've never seen. So in Texas, you don't really have many Samoans. I moved out here. These Samoans are fucking huge. Like we're talking like monsters. And I ended up going toe to toe with one of them one time. And I just remember I went squared up with him and
the rest he went black.
I went black. No, I went black, and I don't remember anything. I just remember waking up in the one of the manager's office on the bed, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, oh, so and so hit you. I'm like, what does that mean? He hit me like with his car? Like, no, he just ran right into you.
Oh my goodness.
So
Damn.
no, I mean, yeah. So
dang, you guys don't have any.
I've got more.
I can
You
make
got more?
I can make him another.
You guys want to go one more round?
Do we
I
want
can go one more
to
round.
go one more round, or we want to move on to other stories?
Oh, we got some gaming news we could talk about.
All right.
Oh,
If
and
we
some
have
movie
if
news
we
as
got
well.
some time,
Oh, and
we
movie
can-
news.
Let's roll back at the end, maybe.
We'll roll back.
We can do it in
All
the
right.
after show.
After show.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So movie news. Let's talk about
Yes.
that for a minute.
Movie news.
Last Saturday, last web talk, we talked about the future of Marvel, the MCU, where we see it going, and since then, a theory has really kind of popped up.
A theory?
A theory.
Oh.
I thought you said a
Oh.
fairy.
I thought you said a fairy too.
Yeah.
A fairy theory has really taken shape
I'm like,
as
Oh my
to
goodness.
David?
how we think Endgame is going to end.
Gilly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but the theory is that now that they have Ant-Man, which they didn't have in the original fight
Here
with
we
Thanos,
go.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh.
he's going to shrink and crawl inside Thanos from behind,
From behind where? From behind where?
from his Achilles
goodness.
tendon.
From his Achilles
Yep,
tendon.
and then just expand and just go back to normal
And
size.
screw up his Achilles tendon.
Screw up his once you have that knocked out, you can't do anything.
I mean,
You know.
okay,
I
if
mean-
you tighten.
So this is
no, crawl up his ass and explode.
But this has
From the
been
inside.
We were talking about this before we went on the air. This has been like a running meme for the last 3
Years?
weeks,
Since-
3-4 weeks.
has it been longer than a couple weeks?
It's totally been. I think it's like lately with like once they. I think it became more like concrete once they showed the trailer with Ant-Man still alive and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And obviously once we saw at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp that he survived.
I mean, I think
but-
the joke started back with Ant-Man because
Yeah.
at that point we had already established that Thanos was
Yeah.
the
Gonna be
immediate
the
threat.
big, yeah,
And so
Well,
I
back
think it
with
was, like, a
Infinity
kind of
War,
running
because
joke.
when Ant-Man wasn't in Infinity War.
yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about like, oh, he could have totally killed,
That's
totally
true.
destroyed.
I think you're right.
When they were doing
Yeah.
like those end videos and how it should have ended or whatever and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like they were talking and joking. And then as time progressed and like, oh, Ant-Man was actually doing his own thing, blah blah blah. That's how that ended.
Yeah.
And then as of late, it's become more of a meme, more of a comedic take. Even going as far as even the MCU taking a little joke at and jab at it.
Yeah.
With Josh Brolin
With Josh
coming out on
Yeah,
Instagram,
sitting on a toilet,
Yep,
just,
preparing for Ant-Man.
Like,
And he's sitting there struggling on the toilet.
Yeah.
don't do that at home, kids.
I don't know. This movie's gonna be 3 hours and 2 minutes long. If I'm waiting for this movie for 3 hours, it better not end with somebody crawling up someone's rear end just so he
That's
can.
not happening. Yeah, we know that's not happening.
I don't know, though.
Kevin Feige's
Russo
just like
brothers straight
Kevin
out
Feige
came-
is just like he's like, yep, that's it. I
That's
did
it.
10 years.
You got
Y'all
me.
figured it out.
No, the
Good
Russo
luck.
brothers actually released a statement and said, no, Ant-Man is not crawling up Thanos' ass.
I'm glad they did
good.
that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's good that they're addressing the rumors that count.
Yeah.
Good job, Russo brothers.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Like the way the film's coming about, like we still literally don't know diddly squat about how the film's going to go about. There's 3. This is the longest running MCU film, and we have no idea what's going to happen after the first 20 minutes.
And it's been done filming since the end of the first. They filmed
Yeah.
them back to back.
yeah.
So like it's kudos to Marvel and for them being able to keep everything under wraps and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
They-
despite some people's best try. Tom
No
Holland.
joke. Like everybody in
Holland,
Atlanta is like,
Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo like
Exactly,
just
those
leaking
two.
everything.
like Mark Ruffalo's going to do another Instagram live while they're screening Endgame. I don't know though. Like this is going to cap what Kevin Feige has called the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of anxious, but I kind of don't want to see it at the same time because I want to know what's going to happen, but I also don't want this whole thing to end because then once it transitions to whatever they have next, we really have no clue where they're going to go after Endgame, other than Spider-Man doing his Sony film.
Right. Well, we know that. I'm sure Captain Marvel is going to have a sequel. We know Black Panther
Yeah.
has a sequel. We know Guardians of the Galaxy will eventually have a third.
Thank you for bringing James Gunn back. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Guardians is my
Which-
favorite. Is my favorite
that-
of all of this Infinity Saga.
That you kind of already knew. They would be shooting themselves in the foot if they had decided to put anybody else other than James Gunn back into the director's chair for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We actually talked about it. We did an extra credit episode on the Filmlosophers called the State of the MC Union, and we talked about how we honestly think Disney had already planned on bringing them back. They just didn't. They had to give like that grace period time to be
Makes
like, all right,
sense.
we're gonna give you a little space. We're just gonna do this whole press thing. Where we're gonna pretend like we're looking for somebody, quote unquote, and we're gonna be like, oh well, we forgive him and we're gonna bring him back. But they had already intended to do that.
Yeah, because I think they said something about the fact that like he never like disparaged them or anything like that. He was super professional about the whole situation. He wasn't out there like advocating like I need to be put back on this. It's not gonna, he
accepted it.
He accepted it. He's like, it is what it is. I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna go do Suicide Squad, which I'm actually low key excited for now. Like because it's
Idris Elba is gonna be
it's gonna
Deadshot. So
I don't know how I feel about the switch on Deadshot. I understand.
It's Idris Elba. I mean, I like Idris Elba.
I do too.
So I don't know. Like I think this was, if it wasn't what I had stated before in terms of the theory, if it wasn't that, it was honestly Disney's fear of completely losing James Gunn to the DC
possibly.
EU, whatever that's called, DC EU, and having him like totally revamp everything they're doing over there. Because Joss Whedon's over there now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
Yeah, we might get some good DC universes in this like phase, this third reboot of the DC films.
You got Shazam coming down the pipeline.
I was gonna say, speaking
excited.
of DC,
I'm excited for Shazam.
Yeah, same here. It's interesting to actually see a DC film that is not like Batman versus Superman. It's not taking itself too seriously. It's actually
dark.
looking like it's going to have fun.
You can see people.
You can see
color palettes are lighter this time.
Yes.
I saw a review from somebody at IGN, and she was saying, "Oh wait, no, she's not IGN anymore."
Who was it?
What's her name? Something Charizard. It reminds
Charizard. Yeah, you're talking about Alana.
Alana, yes, thank you. She was saying how she saw Shazam, and she said that there's faults and there's some kind of weird plot things that they did.
Yeah,
that don't make a lot of sense. But above all, it's just fun. It's just a fun movie, and she's willing to look over some of the mistakes because of how fun the movie is.
Yeah.
So I know our past they posted their review for it, and I read just kind of a couple of things. They said the villain is serviceable, which whatever. That most movies don't do villains right. Like regardless, Killmonger is like by far the best villain that they've done for all the MCU, just for the whole like full-on character development.
Right.
Thanos is great. Yeah, obviously Thanos is a bigger, badder villain.
But they had 10 years of developing him.
Well, but and like, but he's like maybe just a smidge better than Killmonger, just because like they've actually developed him as well. But yeah, so like, so they said that. They said the best parts are, Shazam learning how to use his powers. So like, and that like that's what they've shown in the trailers. They've shown a lot of that stuff in the trailers. That's one thing I'm worried about is that I've seen all the parts.
Seen the best parts.
I've seen all the best parts of him like trying to learn how to use his powers. Like, hey, I charged your phone. Like, you broke it, bud. Like, so I'm afraid of seeing that. But yeah,
Sergeant Squiggles makes actually a good point. I agree with him up to a point. Good villains think they are right. Great villains actually are. I think it's good villains think they're right. Great villains convince you they are.
Yes.
Like if a great villain, they may actually be whatever, but if they convince you that you actually can jump on there, like that's what Thanos did.
Thanos and Killmonger both were kind of like,
I was like, they got a good point.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, we are overpopulated.
If I was in this situation, I might.
You know what? Let's go talk to the mayor about a purge. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things like you were mentioning with Killmonger. And then, like with Thanos, and even to a certain extent with Loki, you have three great villains who exceed what you expect for most villains in the MCU to just be like cannon fodder for the next villain. This is just another place for the next one. This is just another place. Yeah. They give personality, they give depth, they give a great story arc to somebody who is deeply, ingrained in what they believe and are devoted to that. To the point to where they can convince you that they may actually be onto something.
Yeah.
Like Killmonger is probably one of my most favorite villains because of the fact that it was driven not by, him thinking about doing something evil overall, but it was him trying to find where he belonged altogether. Yeah. And you realize that as the film comes to a close. And it's a beautiful way to showcase somebody who no matter what, is not going to go back to what he was used to, even if it meant death.
Yeah.
You know?
I think another one that has potential would be when they do the X-Men reboots, and they can get a good Magneto tell his story. If they tell the story of like the mutants and the two different paths of.
I was actually, I've been reading a lot of stuff on like
Jada.
narratives and things like that, and like they were talking about like the you sparked my knowledge from Magneto, but like. They were talking about like when Magneto was first like introduced and they had the Dark Brotherhood of Evil or whatnot, and then when they updated it and they like kind of soft relaunched it, it was just the Dark Brotherhood, or it's just the Brotherhood.
Yeah,
it took out all this part, and so like it's no longer this like black and white. Oh, they're evil, they're good. It's just like, oh, this is just another group vying for, to survive.
Their people are being treated terribly and are going to go extinct, so he wants to fight back because they're more powerful. We're mutants. If we band together, we can fuck these dudes up.
Exactly. It's completely based on two different sects of the same group that want to just exist. One is just willing to do it by peace, the other one is willing to do it by force. How many times have we seen that nowadays? When it comes to protesting or whatnot, some people do it by peace, somebody do it by force. It's the same thing we deal with every day. So
oh, man. The one thing we just got to throw in there real quick, because this is a video game podcast. I know Emma's going to probably listen on her car ride back from WonderCon and be like, you fuckers didn't talk about video games once. Borderlands 3, everybody.
So hyped. What are we getting it on? What are we getting it on, Cory?
PC.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Like, because I mean, we gotta start hunting some loot, man.
Yeah, we got to get our squad ready to go, because this is a game you got to hunker down, and it's most fun to experience with a solid core.
Yeah, I'd say like I've been playing a lot of Division 2. I've been playing it solo mostly, just because I'm either too high for some of them, like, and you could play like mixed levels, but like I had John and them join in on one of my games, and I was like 20 levels below, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm just not. I'm getting like one-shotted, and I'm not doing enough damage to make it worthwhile. So I've been trying to catch up. Borderlands 3, River 2.
It's one of those games where Borderlands 3, it looks the same. I'm just hoping it's different. Like I just
want it to be deeper. I just want it to be deeper and more like, and just more variety. I don't know, I guess. I just don't want it to be like the fetch quests and stuff like that. Like that Borderlands 1 and 2 fell into these like, Well,
we should watch the full trailer in the after show again in case anybody hasn't seen it. But they were true to their brand. Like the billions of guns in this one, guns with legs. Oh, yeah, and it cuts to a gun with legs just running around. Like this game is fucking crazy with the amount of variety and guns that they throw into there. And then
have a cat silencer.
Jeez, we covered that on your last episode. They had a Brick sax solo. Brick was my favorite character from the first one. So this game is back, and it's going to be awesome. David, did you get a chance to see the trailer yet?
I have not. I just saw that teaser that we talked about on Wednesday.
We'll watch it after the show.
Yeah, we'll watch it after. All right, everybody.
Yep,
well, that is the themes. That is the closing song that you hear. That means the show's wrapping up. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Curtis for hopefully you feel better, and Emma, who's at WonderCon, and she's avoided Endgame trailers like the plague.
Oh my god!
You're not getting much out of them, so not sure about.
Yeah, she's at a masquerade, and they played it on the big screen over the loudspeakers.
She just like
and all she could do was like bury her eyes in her friend's shoulder, plug her ears, and like hum.
Oh my goodness!
And she's like, I still heard things.
Do a diddy diddy dum diddy do.
There you go.
So Jada, shout out. Do you want to shout anything out? Where you gonna? Where can we find you? What are you gonna do next?
Yeah, you can find me at jadarina or at Jada_Rena for Twitter. I stream on occasion lately. Nothing too serious lately. I'm kind of figuring out some other life stuff, but hopefully that'll get fixed in the next couple months.
Not another 36-hour.
Those are coming. I'm planning those. I love my marathon streams. I did that for Uncharted and Halo. So,
Eddie.
I am the host of the Filmlosophers. This is Eddie Villanueva. You can check us out, all our episodes at filmlosophers.com or on VGB Studios, the website, VGBstudios.com. You can also check it out on Facebook at facebook.com/filmlosophers and twitter.com/filmlosophy101. Also, you can check out the movie I was talking about earlier at Feistrom Movie on all social platforms.
Feistrom or Feistrom?
Feistrom, Feystrom.
You want to say that one more time, a little bit slower.
FEYSTROM.
There it is.
Movie.
When's it slated to be released?
Oh, we're still in pre-production right now.
Okay.
So
Eddie's planning on somehow getting into the spotlight. I know Eddie. He's
Yeah.
always working those fast angles.
like I said, I did do some table reads today, so
I know. I want to see. We can hear more about your table reads because that would be amazing.
that would be great.
Cory, you're not streaming until The Bachelor comes back on.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I'm on hiatus.
The Bachelor comes on.
Yeah,
That's his show. That's what he streams. He
Hey,
streams
you know-
reviews for The Bachelor.
I can't wait to watch.
I like to keep everybody up to date with.
Who's our next bachelor?
She didn't get a rose.
Who's our next
And
bachelor?
this is why.
It's actually Bachelorette. I think the Bachelor just ended, so
Okay.
Bachelorette's coming back.
Wow.
Good.
And I'm not sure her name. I don't know. My wife watches it, so when she doesn't have Bachelor to watch, I go on husband duties, and we, are binge watching Games of Thrones and stuff. But then when the Bachelor comes back, streams come back, baby.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
Awesome.
I don't have a schedule, so whenever I feel like it, just follow me on Twitter at RealDavidWebb, and I will be posting there when I go live. That's our show, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. For the Real David Webb, Jadarina, Eddie, Villanueva, and Cory. This is me again saying, see you next time. Nailed it that time.
That was a good ending.